Hello, everybody. This is Witcher the Wizard, and coming to you again for the weekly Twin Flames, the Twin Within Energy Report for the week of the February 10th through the 16th. So, hope you're all doing well. Again, for anybody who's watching this new, what I do is I pull one card for the feminine energies and one card for the masculine energies, and these are energies that we all have within us. We normally favor one energy over the other one, and it has nothing to do with sex or gender. These are just basically the energies that we all work with, and you favor one more than the other. The idea is that when you identify which energy you favor more than the other, to really kind of pay attention to that non-favored energy to help you learn and grow and get more balanced individually, which I believe, personally, is what the Twin Flame journey is all about. Coming to union within first, come to union within, you get balanced in yourself, you get centered in yourself, grounded in yourself. You know, you complete that yin-yang of the self, the inside, and then the rest of your world will start falling into place. So let's get on with it. For this week, the feminine energy, I pulled the Judgment card in reverse. So the Judgment card in reverse. So the Judgment card, it's all about making decisions about what's right in your life and what isn't. And it's interesting because last week I talked about decluttering your house. The reason why we have clutter in the first place is that we have things in our house or home or life or mind or heart that doesn't belong there. Like, these things don't belong in our life. And we have them there because we haven't exercised good judgment about what we need and what we don't need. Right? Let's say you're going on a backpacking trip. You're not going to bring everything you have. First of all, you can't fit it in the backpack, but even if you could, it would be so heavy you couldn't move. Right? So you have to exercise really good judgment and only take the items that you really need for that trip. So you're going to have to know, are you going to be, climbing mountains? Are you going to be in cold weather? Are you going to be in hot weather? Are you going to be on the beach where there's sand? All of these things you have to take into consideration before picking just the items you need to put in your backpack. And that's what judgment is. And that's what decluttering is, really. It's taking things out of our lives that we don't need. So our lives are kind of like a backpack. And to be the most effective you really only want to have the things in that backpack that you need in your life. And if you don't know what you need in your life, then you cannot have good judgment. So it's really about getting very real and honest with yourself. It's kind of like you've got some sporting equipment in your garage or your basement that you haven't used in years, but you have this idea that you would love to. You would love to take up tennis. You would love to go skiing again. Like, if you go skiing maybe, once every other year, do you really need your own set of skis? Probably not. You can just rent them. They'll be fine. So it's really about being very honest with ourselves. Instead of allowing, what might be, what we would like to be, those kind of romantic ideas about what we want our life to be like, and get very real about what our life is and, what it can be. You can't be everything in life, right? You have to pick and choose. That's the whole art of manifesting. As you take infinite possibilities and then you restrict it down to a single thing that you manifest. So for the feminine energies, we're stuck in this not wanting to judge, not wanting to decide, not wanting to get real with ourselves, not wanting to get rid of the things that are no longer appropriate to be in our life. That could be, items, that could be clothing, it could be habits, old habits that we had from our past life that just aren't good anymore, like watching television or playing video games or eating certain foods. When you're young, you can eat whatever you want to, you just burn it off pretty much. But as you get older, you have to get really strict on the diet that you have because your body just can't do that anymore. So it's about getting very honest with yourself, right? So that we can clear out the weeds, clear out the clutter, and be really effective with our time and our energy, which will lead us to being happy. So that's the feminine energy, and the masculine energy is the Two of Cups in reverse. And so the Two of Cups for me is really all about being vulnerable, right? You see these two are raising their cups to one another. So it does show being open with another person, but it also, to be open, you have to be vulnerable. Who's going to raise their cup first? You have to be willing to take that chance. You have to be vulnerable. But what does vulnerable really mean? What does being open? And it means being truthful. It means saying what you really think, telling someone that you're interested in them and not knowing whether they're going to reciprocate or not. But it doesn't matter if they reciprocate or not. That what matters is that you speak your truth. You have to speak your truth. If you're going to live a happy life, you have to be truthful, which means you have to be vulnerable. You have to put yourself out there and say, this is my truth, and maybe you won't like it. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. It doesn't matter, but here's my truth. And having faith that when you speak your truth, when you are who you are, that you will draw the right people into your life. You'll lose some people, but you'll gain many, many better people because they're the ones who are attracted to who you are. They're attracted to your truth. And because of that, your life will just go better. It just will. Everything will fall into place. You'll attract the right people. You'll attract the right circumstances. You'll attract the right jobs. Everything will be right. You won't be trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. So it's time to be vulnerable. It's time to be truthful. And I think that works very well with with our judgment, because judgment is all about being truthful with yourself and knowing what you need in your life and what you don't need in your life. Right? So we've got this idea of being truthful on the outside and being truthful on the inside. And right now, the feminine energy isn't wanting to be truthful within to the self, and the masculine energy is resisting being truthful in actions and words to the outside world, right? So there's this resistance about being truthful. But the sooner we are truthful with ourselves and with our actions and words, the better life gets. It just does. I just can't stress that enough. I'm the biggest, sinner when it comes to this. I don't want to use that word, but I've struggled with that my whole life, and I was not being who I am. Was not speaking my truth, was not acting my truth. I was trying to be something else. And come to find out, when I was growing up, I think that was really important. There was a lot of pressure to conform. But everybody kind of left that a long time ago, and somehow I'm still carrying that load of trying to conform in a very increasingly non-conformist world. And funny, I had a conversation with a Lutheran pastor today, and I was talking about how I do Reiki work, and it was a real struggle for me to discuss that around with people I know because of the sort of Christian community we have in my town. When I was growing up, at least, was extremely conservative, and that would have been very frowned upon. But times have changed so much. She looked at me and said, "Oh yeah, that's no big deal. You need to just like roll with it and let people know." So it's like, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, "Holy shit, man! I've been carrying this false assumption around with me for a long time now that this would be still considered devil worship and all that kind of stuff and frowned upon, and no, everybody's just like way past that crap. And had I just been more truthful with my actions and my words, I could have dropped that false assumption a long time ago, you know, like last year or even 2017 or whatever. Like, it would have been a lot easier on me because I could have gotten the word out that I'm doing Reiki. Instead, I treated it like a closely guarded secret. But because I thought there wouldn't be a lot of people who would react well to it. And in fact, everybody's reacting well to it. So, you got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose. Be truthful. Be truthful with yourself and be truthful with your actions and your words. And life just works better. Just like the machinery just works better. You start attracting everything that's right for you. It's just that simple. And when that happens, when you really start getting truthful with yourself, you will know what is right in your life and what you need. And you will just start to shed all the extra layers and pounds of crap out of your life that you don't need, that's been weighing you down. It's weighing you down, whether it's in your mind, whether it's your emotions, or whether it's stuff that you got to deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's weighing you down. And the sooner you get honest with yourself, the sooner you can start shedding all of that, and it will free up so much of your energy to be the greatest version of yourself and really get out there and do what you incarnated into this world to do and be happy. Because at the end of the day, that's what this life is all about. To do what your soul came in here to do, and in the process, be really, really happy and have a happy life. Right? Okay, so that's it. Let's read the Oracle card from the Enchanted Map series. And we got Ghostland. Ghostland. All right. I'll read that from the book. I don't know that I will ever not read it from the book. Who knows? Maybe once I get really familiar with this deck. All right, Ghostland. You can learn from the past and imagine a beautiful future, but you must live in the here and now. Whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing, for rarely do the present and future match up exactly on the enchanted map that is your life story. The future has no substance right now. It is a place that has no grounding as of yet. You can't live there, yet you can take measured steps towards a goal or dream. These steps are important now. The same goes for nostalgia. You can look into the past wistfully and remember beautiful moments or revisit lessons learned. However, you can't live there, nor can you go back and change what was. Yesterday is gone forever. Live fully in the present. The now is the most powerful place to put your attention. Its magic reaches out in every direction, further than the heart and soul can see. All right, so Ghostland. That kind of runs with the theme of being honest, being truthful with yourself. And it's kind of about just anchoring yourself in the here and now, not thinking about the past, not being wistful about the future, not thinking too much about the future because the future is a what if. You got to focus on the here and now. Be honest with yourself. Get rid of the things from the past that have no place in the now, and be really focus on what you can do right now. And you know, if you're looking at those golf clubs that you haven't used in 5 years, and you're thinking, wow, yeah, maybe I'd love to get out golfing again someday. Well, guess what? Someday is not a day of the week. It's not on the calendar. There's no day called someday. Get honest with yourself. Are you going to go golfing or not? Like, make plans. Make plans right now. You going to use those skis ever? Make plans. If you don't plan to use them, you're not going to use them. Get rid of them. All that stuff from the past that used to mean something to you, but it has no place in your life now, get rid of it. You'll be happy. You'll thank me. You'll thank yourself. All right, that's it. As always, I fare you well. Take care this week. Be safe, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.